Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of the broadcast, the second half here of the 2025 GSL Season 2 qualifiers. We have our first three players making it through. We have Maru, Hero, and Rogue. Our top three players have made it through the qualifiers. They're a part of GSL, and now we're here to determine our next three players to make it through and qualify. Here we go. ByuN, he just went down to Maru in a TvT, very close, very intense TvT matchup. Now he's up against SHIN in another qualifying match. Let's go. Now, as a reminder, the loser of this series will have another chance as they get seeded into a last chance bracket. So they will have another opportunity to qualify for the event. But for the time being, it's still all on the line here. Ideally, you do want to avoid that situation, want to avoid that bracket and make it through here and now. As we are jumping to game one. Game one is going to be on ley lines. Let's go. Jumping in, just catching him in chat. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Z007. StarCraft Scrub, Iron Ringed as well, Silly Dobby. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Hope you're all doing well. Whew, as again, this is the beginning of a very, very long, like 48 hours of StarCraft, or even more than that, to be honest. It's gonna be an intense weekend of StarCraft, Papi, let me tell you. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. Whew. We have our setup, we have our players, we have our first TvZ of the broadcast, and we'll see where this takes us. As SHIN and ByuN, they're very well versed with each other. As a reminder, SHIN, he failed to qualify for GSL last season. He was not a part of season 1. It shows how cutthroat the season was. Zound didn't qualify, Bunny didn't qualify, SHIN didn't qualify, Creator didn't qualify. There were so many players that did not make it through into the main event. That's how brutal these qualifiers are, and we'll see if SHIN can redeem himself and actually make it this season, as he was not a part of season 1. It's not a part of it. Despite that, he's still a very strong player, and again, we do see both SHIN and ByuN go back and forth. Like, they are very active in the online tournament scene. They do very often trade blows, but right now there's at least only enough room for one. Let's go. As we have our initial 15-15 gasless opener out of SHIN. Bold move. This is not the first time that we've seen. I remember Rogue went for this as well not too long ago, and I'm not too fond of the idea of doing this on this map on ley lines specifically. Bold move out of SHIN. Basically what's happening here, SHIN, he's being greedy, he's cutting corners, he skips his gases in favor of earlier queens and in favor of more droning, of course, in favor of a faster third base. Just no gas saturation whatsoever here. It is going to be delayed, just now being taken. Now, because of this, link speed is often skipped, and this should be for roach play. As we get into a roach one, then we get into roach production. The downside, of course, is that because of this, you have to rely on your queens, purely queens, to defend early on against the Hellions, against the Reapers. And this is a little bit easier on certain maps. It is, especially last map pool. Like in the last map pool, this was so much easier on Abyssal Reef, on King's Cove, on Neon Violet Square. But now the new map pool, these maps are a little bit more open, they're more accessible, they're harder to be defensive like that. Meanwhile, Lings, they do get across the map. 6 Lings. They do attempt to. As they delay the CC, they kill. Oh, they don't quite get the SCV kill. ByuN does defend. So far, so good. He does defend, he does protect. And he will expand. Behind this third CC before Starport, economic build here by ByuN. It was slightly delayed and slightly disrupted, but overall it's still coming. Meanwhile, we should be getting into an add-on swap. Bit of an awkward setup. I mean, extra Marines had to be made. Here comes the add-on swap. And we'll see if SHIN can hold on, can minimize losses, can keep up. Oh, as ByuN does pull back and there's no starport. Tech Lab is finishing, and are we going for a 2-1-1? 3cc 2-1-1. Yeah, there we go. Stim is on the way. Really fast stim timing here by ByuN. Going into an earlier second Rax. Going into a third Rax as well. I assume 2-1-1, but this is a 3-1-1. Okay, very aggressive follow-up here by ByuN. So a couple things are happening. First things first, this is not an all-in. Remember, third CC. The third CC is on the way. Third CC is finishing. This is an economic build, but following this is going to be very strong stim timing with an abundance of Marines with stim. Now, because of the faster CC, there is a window in time where SHIN needs to drone. SHIN needs to drone as hard as possible while he can to keep up and to catch up economically, and then get ready for the stim timing. Behind this, we'll see if he goes into roaches or not. We have link speed on the way. I did say that gases openers typically go into roach play. Not this time though, link speed instead. We're going into link bane. We are going into a link bane follow-up. Hellions, it rotates. Oh, good reaction out of SHIN. He does pull away in time. Does pull away. Does pull away. ByuN is expanding, taking his third. Stim is almost done. And what are we waiting for? Waiting for the medevacs. So we're going to be seeing an add-on swap here with the factory and the starport into medevac production. A 2-on-1 will be hitting here with stim. This is going to hit a little bit later as we are still waiting for said medevacs. Meanwhile, we have our lair on the way. Double Bailey Nest. It does happen. It happens to the best of us. Hopefully one of them does get cancelled as we have 2 Bailey Nests on the way. Este SHIN. We gotta lock in, Bap. You've gotta lock in. As he's claiming his 4th base. Double Evo chamber. Double upgrades. Bailey Nest, it looks like it will complete. So some wasted resources there for SHIN. As he's building up his link bane. Baneling speed is on the way. Getting into baneling speed, double expanding. SHIN does cut workers at 64, okay, 3 base saturation. Here comes ByuN's move out. And the SHIN, he's gonna have Link Queen to defend. No banelings. And he's holding onto his stim. Doesn't want to waste it. Still threading. Quest pulls away. Quest still rallying. Yeah, ByuN is going to be committing with this. Rallying across the map. Second factory. Okay. ByuN, he's not going for a 3-way soul in. He should be expanding. Should be setting up for another CC. That's going to be a very heavy tank follow-up. ByuN pushing forward. As he pushes forward, Ling Ramai comes in towards the 3rd base. Like our reinforcements. ByuN does hold. As the base is going to be going down. SHIN trying to collapse on the army, coming in from behind. Yeah, nice around, nice setup. Collapse on the Marines. Tank boy is going up, but SHIN, he will clean this up. Takes out the tank. Some of the bio army does escape, but SHIN holds. Whew. SHIN, he does hold, he does defend. Likewise, you have another double drop here on the right hand side. Does clear up a lot of creep, but SHIN is keeping up. He barely saves the expansion. But for now, he gets away with a double expand. ByuN is still being active. ByuN trying to catch SHIN out. Tank has arrived. Oh! As SHIN is somewhat keeping up, but the tank is going to make things complicated here. Tank, a good amount of Marines, only a handful of banelings. And SHIN cannot engage, not easily. As ByuN is expanding. Now the second factory is going into wood mine production, out of tanks. Interesting. Going into mine play, getting another CC. Likewise, SHIN is keeping up. Is keeping up. Likewise, ByuN rotating now towards the center. And SHIN this entire time, he got away with droning, he got away with double expanding. 80 workers here, now we're taking up. Lurker Den is on the way. Infestation Bit's on the way. SHIN is getting into hive tech. And ByuN not able to slow him down. Oh. ByuN is moving in. Likewise, medevacs are shut down. SHIN, he defends. Both armies are maxing. But remember, SHIN is taking. ByuN, he does have a solid economy behind this, but ByuN is not taking up into Ghost yet. No Ghost Academy. Last movement. Oh no! Oh my god. Brutal connection. ByuN moving in. SHIN trying to get this around. Oh, another mine shot going off. But it's pure marine here for ByuN. Does quite well. But the Banelings, oh, they do connect. Does punish some of the bio. And again, SHIN is holding. He's also maintaining his creep. Keeping it spread. Lurkers have arrived. And SHIN even able to counterattack. Oh, at least somewhat. Get the tank. Center tank pulls out. Likewise spots the medevacs. ByuN trying to break through. Now we have the Ghost Academy on the way. Now he notices. Now ByuN is aware. As the lurker count is building up. But again, it does feel like these ghosts are late. With pure bio in mind, it's not going to be easy to break these siege lines. SHIN even sneaks by. Yeah, we can see ByuN just turtling. We're gonna be here for a while. It's ByuN is turtling on up, throwing down more CCs, more mines, more towers, I should say. Ooh. Mine just going up. Planetary is gonna go down. Likewise, zones away the bio. Oh, it does connect with the Marines. Nice extension towards the end. At the same time, Bailey's they knocked down another planetary. Yeah, 2 bases going down. But SHIN does plummet in supply. Does cost him a lot of Ling Bane to pull that off. Oh. The Lunkers are ready. SHIN defends. And ByuN is re-expanding. He's forced to re-expand, has to cancel for the refund. Center base is denied. Retaking top left. And SHIN now getting into Nidus play. Oh god, the mine shots are brutal. Oh, the mine shots are going off. These are expensive losses for shots. Another mine connects. Ay. Better trades here for ByuN. With his wooden mines, catching out 2 lurkers as well. SHIN is trying to catch up ByuN. Oh, does surround some of those ghosts. Does take some. Okay, it does catch up the army. Ghosts gonna be going down. That was 3. Yeah, 3 ghosts. Oh, the worst catch there from SHIN. But now ByuN is stabilized. ByuN, he's now retaking the northern base. Now he's double expanding, going for the 2 center bases as well. And ByuN is now more secure with Ghost. SHIN going for the Nidus, but ByuN does notice. Does notice. Likewise, oof. ByuN catches out the lurkers. 3 lurkers going down. These are rough losses here for SHIN. Nidus is denied. And SHIN is in trouble. Oh, not again. Mine just going off. And with that, ByuN defends back Anomi, cleans up even more lurkers. And we're down to 6 lurkers. 6 lurkers remaining. And SHIN is still keeping up. But ByuN is getting out of hand. At a certain point, these bases, they have to be denied. ByuN likewise is just establishing himself. Now getting into liberators. When we spoke about turtling up, I mean, hey, ghosts, tanks, turrets, libs. Just building up back at home. The creep is also lacking here for SHIN, partly because of how active ByuN has been. You see SHIN trying to respread his creep. That's barely any active tumors. And now we have the Spire on the way, leading up into potentially Broodlords and potentially Broodlord Infestor. I mean, against this kind of turtly style, that's what you have to do. You can make Lingbane Hydra work, but you have to be very active. And what we saw earlier, how SHIN was killing bases, we needed to keep that going. Like if we're gonna go for this kind of more mobile composition, we have to keep being active like this and knock down bases. But if SHIN fails to knock down these bases, then it's not worth it. Like, he has to bring them down. Oh, brutal mind connections once again. He will get the planetary, though. Going for the main army. Gets a ghost. Trades against Marauders. Oh, this is not ideal. And he doesn't get it. He does not get the base. That was not worth it here for SHIN. ByuN back at home. He defends the main. Cleans up more lurkers. Ay, ay, ay. SHIN taking more bases himself. And you can see SHIN is still committing here to Ling Pain. He does have +1 air attackers on the way, so he's thinking about like potential like Broodlords as an option, but he needs upgrades for that. So he's still a ways away before that becomes viable. ByuN moves in. SHIN, he attempts to surround. Does force to pick up. Takes down the Liberator. This time this planetary should finally go down even without the Banelings. And the Ling Hydra should be good enough. See, he does preserve the Banelings. Nicely done. Planetary does go down. Banelings are going for the Ghosts. He's going for the dive, going for the Ghosts. Can he get the surround? Barely not, but this is still a better engage. There we go, does take them down. Ghost a cloak in time. Still a lot of ghosts falling. Going for another expansion. Oh god, the snipes are brutal. Snipes are brutal. SHIN has to get the hell out of here. Does pull away, but not bad. SHIN, he takes down 14 SCVs. He takes down 2 bases. He forces a cancel on 2 more. This is what SHIN needed. And now rebuilding. Remaxing. Now SHIN is making a wave of lurkers. Unfortunately for SHIN, ByuN is making a wave of liberators. We have 6 liberators on the way. That's a lot of liberation. It's a lot of freedom. Does he have... Okay, I was about to say, does he have like 6 starports? Does have add-ons on some of them, thankfully. SHIN once again, he does push in. He is deterred though. Again, that's a lot of liberation zones. And again, this is also what forces out Corruptors and Broodlords. Because Viper Hydra is not ideal against this. Not against this hefty of an army. A Liberator army. With Ghosts alongside them. We have some Infestors on the way that will help. +2 air attack. Again, we're getting ready for those Corruptors. Getting ready. As we do go for the dive. Hellion Bane crashing into the Ghost. Not bad. It's just ignoring the liberation zones. But ByuN does kite through all the liberation, all the freedom. Yeah, rough trades there for SHIN, but he will get the expansion. Takes down the mineral line as well. Not bad. Catching the base makes it okay. ByuN still has a better bank. You can see SHIN is out of gas. SHIN, he's running out of gas. He's running out of steam. But ByuN is down to 47 SCVs. Oh, impedes himself. Turrets are being thrown down. Jesus, it's got a lot of liberation. Corruptors are now moving in. Now we have some anti-air, and Liberators are going to start going down. Does take down 2, I believe. Midas does complete. Single lurker pops out. Let's go. Drawing away the attention here of SHIN. Another lurker, but let's go. The Lunkers, they're popping out. ByuN getting distracted. Does leave the Ghost idle. We have a very cheeky Infestor under the army. Ready for the fungal. Scan barely does miss. Double Nidus into the main. Nidus runs are being denied. SHIN takes down 1 planetary. The Nidus does finish though. Not bad. Yeah, 4 lurkers do borrow, but they're going to be cleaned up. Marauders are in position. The Lunkers, they do nothing. Die. Feels Lunker, man. And we have 13 Corruptors. No Greater Spire. Bear that in mind. So it's just Lingbane Corruptor. Likewise, there's still 2 Infestors. With the main army. Looks like there may have been a scan earlier to snipe the Infestor. As there were 4. ByuN still slowly pushing forward. Slowly moving in. As bases are being denied. SHIN losing 2 expansions. Ooh, the Corruptors, they do run through the main army. And rough losses there for SHIN. I guess a couple of ghosts. Not bad. ByuN also overextends. We've yet to see that fungal, that juicy fungal. Hasn't happened yet. SHIN setting up for it. Let's go. Fungal going off. Does graze the army. Catching out what? 6 ghosts, not bad. And he does go for the dive. Ghost's gonna be falling. Corruptors, they commit here into the Metamax, into the Liberators. And it looks like he does get the mineral line, and 9 SCVs going to be going down. Corruptors, they go to town. And there's not much on the ground. Just strays with those Liberators. 10 out as many Liberators as he can. Goes for the Vikings as well. Oof, not the worst trade. Now he has to get the hell out of here. He has to escape. Oof. Jesus, as the Mule Hammer gets thrown down. That's so many mules for ByuN. Who needs SCVs when you have mules? Oh. Fungal on the mules as well. Okay. Does go for the Fungal. Pull away. Bleeds out an Infestor. Expensive loss there for SHIN. But look at ByuN. Look at his economy. Look at his bank. ByuN, he has no minerals. And SHIN, for the most part, he's maintaining himself. Like, he could still do with another expansion, with another base. SHIN, he has limited gas income. For the most part, he's maintaining himself. SHIN is remaxed. Oh. Likewise snaps again. Investor on bars. Doesn't get sniped immediately. And once again, Corruptors, they shut down the Liberators. That's still a lot of ghosts. Still a lot of ghosts there for ByuN. And ByuN, he does retake that base. Trading at ghosts. Not ideal. Expensive losses. ByuN is building back up. Oh, a bit of a missed rally. Uh-oh. Sorry, lots of getting called out. SHIN, he's still not going for a Greater Spire. I mean, right now wouldn't be the best moment for a Greater Spire anyway. What we're really needing here is Infestors, and we have none. So 0 Infestors for SHIN. There's no fungal potential. I mean, that's what popped up the last fight, was that fungal, and now there is none. No Infestors, no Fungals. The SHIN just trying to brute force it. Oof. Does take some eye-shots to the face. Again, there's not much finesse to this army from SHIN. SHIN, he's in danger here. Snipes. Oh god, they punish the Corruptors. They do punish. But as long as ByuN is paying attention to the army, like, he shouldn't get surrounded. It shouldn't happen. Like, he's non-stop scanning, takes down another expansion. SHIN, he can't expand the top side as well. The Liberator is there. And ByuN is taking another base. SHIN, he cannot let this happen. ByuN is getting out of hand. He's getting out of hand. He's getting out of control. ByuN now has a bank. SHIN he has been doing a decent job here at maintaining control of the economy, but not anymore. Tries to collapse in. Not bad. Gets it up with a ghost. Oh my god. Ghost a little bit late to cloak. Bailey's are rolling in. They're going for the ghost. He wants them. And they barely do connect. Takes down the middle line, takes down most of the ghosts. Not a bad fight there for SHIN. As ByuN plummets in supply. Bleeds out the Liberators, the Metamax, the ghosts. Again, it's not pretty, but SHIN's pulling it off. Oh, as one of mine are about to reset. There we go. Yeah, SHIN can just keep going from here. Can keep pushing. Mulling Rain pulling in. Takes down the Metamax. At least attempts to. There we go. Sniping the CC. Denying 2 expansions. Now, ByuN still has a bank so he can make pure marine, but he has no gas. ByuN, he's running out of gas. He has 1 gas geyser here that's unsaturated. Meanwhile, he's mining the gas everywhere else. ByuN, we need, there we go. Now notices, does saturate, but this is the only gas income for ByuN, which means pure marine. No more ghosts. SHIN, he's done it. He's doing it. I mean, ByuN, he can still take a fight. He still has a very efficient army. Don't get me wrong. Yo, we've got the 1 infestor. Oh no! No, we had the 1 infestor. Once again, SHIN, his goal here is the mineral line. That's all he cares about. Likewise rolling in. Oof. Mine just going up. There it is. 10 SEV kills. No. Faster gets spotted. ByuN still making more mines. Oof, the whole Zimrago does not work out well. Another brutal connection. Base is denied. This one Liberator paying off so well here. SHIN just cannot expand. This one Liberator is the MVP, just making sure that SHIN just doesn't have an economy or an ideal economy. Oh, here they come! Broodlords! I mean, now is the time. We're the Liberators. At one point, we had a field of Liberators here, but now ByuN can't afford it. So now is the time for the Broodlords. Now Corruptors are less effective. They're less important. Have less of a role to play. And the Broodlords are coming. Uh-oh. SHIN doesn't have much to defend. He has to respond. It's a late reaction here by SHIN. Drones are going to be going down. Maybe the base as well. And ByuN can always pick up. And always just lift. 12 drone kills. So here we go. Fungals don't quite connect. We have to hold on to them. Fungal once again misses. Uh-oh. The Fungal's not there. The snipes are brutal. Now we get 1 Fungal landing. Nice EMPs. And ByuN takes the fight. He takes the fight. He shuts down the base. That was not what SHIN was looking for. Has only 1 Fungal connected. And SHIN is in danger. SHIN, he's in danger here. There's still plenty of ghosts left for ByuN. ByuN, he can take the fight. He has a massive army. ByuN, he has a larger army than SHIN. And now Vikings are on the way. SHIN is trying to get slow. Let's take it slow here. Collapsing the army. Here comes Ling Bane. There's no split out of ByuN. He starts stepping back. He's trying to get the hell out of here. Nice EMP on the infestors. No Fungal. But ByuN, he's trapped. He's trapped and he's forced to pick up. And the fight barely goes the way here of SHIN. SHIN overwhelms. Takes down the CC. I think SHIN's done it. I think SHIN, he's barely pulling it off. How many ghosts are left? 3. 3 ghosts remaining. That's not good enough. Not against 6 Brood Lords. 19 SCVs go down. Again, this game did go the distance. It's very intense. But now we have the Hydras to support. Let's get 1 Brood Lord. Yeah, now force to fight head on. Oh, we have to kite back. Oh, the Marines, they stim through. Jesus. Yeah, they stim through the Broodlings. Do we have a fungal? Without a fungal. Takes out most of the Hydras, down to 4 Hydras. Another snipe goes off, down to 4 Broodlords as well. ByuN, he's just forcing his way through. He's stimming. And he's winning. Where's the fungal? We need more time. Oh, God. There you go. Infestor's right. Brutal snipe goes off. Fungal does not connect. The Fungals, they're not connecting. They graze the army. No shot. ByuN, has he done it? There's another Fungal available. 2 Brutals left. Yeah, he's done it. And this is the Fungal's not good enough. He has barely done it. The Fungals are too little too late. No shot. ByuN, he breaks through. Down to 7 SCVs. That's all he needs. GG gets called, and ByuN, he takes game number 1. Wow. The power of the Ghost, Pappy. GG, the power of Marine. GG, well played. ByuN, he does take the game. Again, SHIN, he was in a winning position there. He was doing well for himself, but the EMPs were brutal, so he was out of fungal growth. Despite winning the fight initially, he could not keep up with the reinforcements. He was run down, and ByuN barely takes the game. GG, well played. SHIN, he had it, Pap, he had it. Did very well for himself, denying base after base and non-stop, able to keep the economy in check of ByuN. But likewise, we did mention the MVPs, right? Like, there was that one Liberator towards the top side that was making sure that SHIN could never expand. Likewise, SHIN, his own economy was also a little bit lackluster. He could not quite keep up with his own trades at times. And yeah, barely towards the end. GG, well played. If only he had saved maybe even 1 fungal for that final fight earlier on, then maybe he could have taken a stronger fight. But alas, GG, well played. ByuN takes the lead. Now we're jumping into game number 2. Here we go. No way, no shot, Pappy, no shot. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg. That was an intense, very draining game 1. But the show must go on. We're jumping into game 2. For Weibo Gaming, it is SHIN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Don't see how SHIN loses this? Never mind, now I see. Again, Broodlords, they need infestor support. They need fungals. Like, without fungal support, like, Broodlords are so vulnerable to snipes, as you saw in that game. Like, Broodlords on their own, like, they're a supportive unit. They're not a main army unit, typically. And unfortunately, it was, one, the fungal was missing towards the end, but the reality is that it was the EMPs. If you recall, like, ByuN had some killer EMPs earlier to make sure that SHIN was out of fungals initially, which is why he had to wait, right? He had to buy time for those infestors to regather energy, and he just didn't have the time for it. Towards the end, it was a shame that, again, we had some whiff fungals as well, some panic fungals out of SHIN, if you will. If they had connected, maybe SHIN wins that fight and maybe wins that game. It's possible. It's possible. GG, well played. Yeah. When were these games played? Over the weekend. So a couple of days ago. They were played over the weekend. Whew. Here we go. For now, we have a standard opener here out of ByuN, Rax Expand, likewise SHIN, Hatch, Gas Pool. Remember, last game SHIN did go for a gases opener, not this time though. This time is playing standard. Love those games where both players end up at 30 supply towards the end. Yeah, it was very close, very clutch. It came down to that fight. Like, ByuN couldn't be passive because he only had 7 SCV, so ByuN was all in. He had to end it then and there. Otherwise, SHIN would recover because he would regenerate energy on those infestors. Here we go. We're now getting into game number 2. Whew. Calming down. SHIN getting his third base on time. Likewise, ByuN 3cc before starport. Economic build here by ByuN. Standard opener out of SHIN. Settling it. So we are backing off. This looks like a much more standard start here by ByuN, going 3cc into Banshee play. If you remember last game, it was an early stim timing. It was 3cc 3 racks. As ByuN was much more aggressive, much more assertive. This time just playing safe. It makes sense on Ultralove. Welcome on to Ultralove. Ultralove is known for earlier aggression. This map is not a stranger to Roach all-ins, for example. So going into Banshees will keep you safe against something like Roach play. So Hellion Banshee out of ByuN. SHIN, he's going into Ling speed. He pulls, no, he does pull out gas. And there's no real indication yet that he's going into Roach play. So players are building up. That was only game 1. Speaking of Roach play, there it is. Roach Warren is thrown down. So SHIN is playing Roaches. As we mentioned, like Roaches are quite popular on Ultralove. The reason why they're popular is because of the rush distance by ground. This map is quite small, so Roaches, they allow you to be aggressive. On top of that, because the map is small, they also allow you to like defend against early pushes a little bit easier. Like Roaches are just a safer way to play at times. They don't scale amazingly into a longer game, so as the game progresses, you have to phase out Roaches and phase in Ling Bane in a longer game. But we'll see if SHIN does decide to go for an all-in. After that last game, I wouldn't blame SHIN for trying to end the game early. So just get it over with. He took it all out of me, Pappy. No. We'll see. As Hellions are looking for a way in, they will find some tumors. They get one. Just the one for now. Polaris on the way. Gases are being taken. We're keeping our eyes open here for our Eva chamber timings, for our upgrades. There we go. Eva chamber is now going to be on the way. Getting to 1-1. SHIN is droning. Roach speed has begun. And there should be 1-1 range upgrades here for the Roaches. So far, so good. Now, the next thing that we're waiting to see is, does SHIN drone up the 4th? Does he saturate? If not, this could just be a 3-base all-in, a 1-1 timing out of SHIN. So this could just be an all-in hitting with these upgrades, or SHIN can opt to drone. Meanwhile, ByuN back at home, he's setting up. The Banshee was deflected. So far, no major damage. Infestation bit tells us, okay, we're taking up. We're not going for the all-in. SHIN, he's taking, he's droning, he's working towards a longer and later game. Working towards a hive tech. Or at least infestors. So no all-in. Building up. As we're building up, there's that Baliness. We did mention that eventually you want to phase out of Roaches as the game progresses. So that's what we're seeing here. Baliness into Ling Bane. There's the Hive on the way, going to be for Adrenal. And from here, this can lead into Ultra Tech. SHIN is very fond of going Roaches into melee upgrades after +1 range into Ling Bane Ultra. We'll see if he can get there. Meanwhile, ByuN, he is pushing out. Uh-oh. ByuN, he's A-Raxing. We spoke earlier how aggression is favored on Ultra Love, and we were fixated a lot on potentially Roach aggression, but ByuN, he himself is going for a 3-base all-in. What do we see? No gases. No, oh, never mind. 1 gas is being taken. This is the first sign that ByuN plans on going for a 2nd factory and a 4th CC. So this is a sign here that ByuN is building up. Otherwise, he's getting ready with his A-Rax setup. A-Rax is on the way. Oh, right, of course, my fault. No, this is still all in. This extra gas, guys, what this means is that we have access to Marauder production. Assuming we should be beginning Marauders soon to keep up with the Roach army. Yeah, Tech Labs. There we go. Tech Labs are on the way, so we have triple Tech Lab production. This is mass Marauder. ByuN is all in. He is committing. The gas is not for a factory, it is for Marauders. And Marauder production is about to begin. Meanwhile, SHIN going into Vipers here to survive, taking up into Ultras. This is greedy. We spoke that is typically where he wants to go, but ByuN, he's pushing forward. Breaking through the Bio, through the Lings. Bathing speed is not yet done. SHIN trying to buy time. Bathing speed 5 seconds away. And ByuN, he retreats. Whew. ByuN, he backs off, he respects the army. 4 CC is on the way. Lings, they confirm. They may even force a cancel. Oh, not able to. Yeah, Lings are forced back. ByuN is embracing Marauders, but he is expanding. So he is getting a 4th base. He's still being hyper aggressive. But the longer this goes on, the better it is for SHIN. Remember, SHIN, he has Ultras on the way. Ultra cabinet is done. Kindness plating has begun. Viper's gathering energy. Oh. ByuN creating a choke point. Tanks, they're pushing forward. SHIN trying to hold on, trying to survive. Still waiting for those upgrades. Getting ready for a flank. Here come the blinding clouds. It does cover the tanks. Massive pickups here. Tanks get covered. Banelings roll in. And ByuN, he kites, but not well enough. He will lose his army. The Banelings, they crash on forward. The Marines fall. And SHIN, he takes it. He takes the fight and he snowballs into a win. He can just keep on pushing. You'll see ByuN, he plummets in supply. And ByuN, he was not set up for a longer game. He did try to expand out of this, but ByuN has been broken. You can see how quickly we go from one end to the other end of the map. That's how small this map is. The boys are being pulled, and ByuN, he will lose everything here. Yeah, there's no saving this space. There's no saving this mineral line. Ultras are coming. And ByuN's aggression did fail. I say that he does push back the Roach Ravager. Okay, he saves the base. We'll lose 20 SCVs in the process, but he does save it. Viper's now moving forward. Ling reinforcements have arrived. Power bombs here on the Medivacs. Nice splits. Oh, that tucks the tank. But ByuN, he is holding on. SHIN, he has to pull away, and momentarily, there we go, kindness plating is done, and now the Ultras have arrived. You can see here the 1-2 punch of SHIN. He may have lost his Roaches, but they don't matter. The Roaches, they don't matter anymore. It's all about the Ultras. As Marauders, they still fare well against the Ultras. Marauders, they snipe 1. They snipe 2. Oh, really not. SHIN trying to end the game. Still rallying in. Target's not that final Ultra. There's 1 Ultra left. Ooh. These piles are connecting. SHIN pulls away. Pulls away. SHIN, he just has to calm down and max out. Just calm down, papi. Calm down. There we go, moving in once again. And ByuN, he survives, but yeah, he's not living. GG gets called. SHIN, he will overwhelm, and we are going to the ace match. We are going to game 3. Whew. GG. Again, the A-Rax of ByuN did fail. As we did mention, ByuN, he was A-Raxing, he was going for a 3-base all-in. He did expand, but he was hyper committed to his push, and he was overrun. He was overrun, he was overwhelmed. Alas, in the end, he took too long to break through. Thanks to the Roach play of SHIN, he was able to buy enough time to get into Vipers, to get into Ultras, and SHIN took a massive fight in the center of the map, cleaning everything up with those Vipers, with those blinding clouds. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to the ace match. We'll see how the story ends. We'll see who qualifies for GSL as we are loading into Tokamak. Here we go. We go from one of the smallest maps in the map pool to one of the largest maps instead, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Weibo Gaming. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. We go. Here we go as we are settling in. Once again, we have a 15-15 opener out of SHIN, which might lead into a gasless start, but I would be more okay with this. We mentioned earlier that SHIN, he went for a gasless opener on ley lines, which in my mind is risky. Ley lines is a smaller map, but as I just mentioned, coming into this, welcome to Tokamak, this is one of the largest maps in the map pool. Very defensive, especially on 4 bases. I would say it is easier to get away, or actually, I might even say this might be the best map for something like a gasless opener, just because of the limited attack paths. Now, what I mean by that is that usually a lot of these maps, they feature a path leading into the natural, like directly. Here, there's a path into the 3rd, path into the 4th base, but the path that typically leads into the natural is walled off. It's walled off by these rocks, so it is easier to defend with purely Queen Ling. But we can see here, okay, we're going into gas. It is going to be a later gas and earlier pool, so hatch, pool, gas here from SHIN, which means he's still going for Ling speed. Just later gas. With this, I believe, how many Lings do we make? Queens are on the way. Doesn't make any Lings with this, just droning. Just droning up. Meanwhile, ByuN just going Rax Expand, a standard opener out of ByuN. And a safer start out of SHIN. This earlier pool timing means that if ByuN was proxying, if he was going for a proxy Rax, then Ling production would be available, and Spine Crawlers as well, earlier than normal. So it looks like just safer play here out of SHIN. As we calm down. There's a 3rd base. 3rd base now being taken. A reactor for the add-on swap into Hellions. Everything so far looking normal. It's ByuN going 3 ECC into Starport, so standard opener once again. We saw the same build last game out of ByuN. From here, we're expecting a Tech Lab into an add-on swap into Banshee, which is what ByuN went for last game. And there it is. Tech Lab is on the way, ready for the add-on swap. So standard play by ByuN. As SHIN, he's Ling flooding. Jesus. Everything's been looking normal here, but there's 12 Lings on the way. This many Lings should be to Ling flood. Now, I believe the goal here is that this Overlord ideally tells SHIN that the Hellions are moving out, and then he can try to bypass the Hellions. Otherwise, he might just be playing this for safety. That is a decent amount of Lings. Yeah, Lings, they do bank up here in between the bases. Waiting for Ling speed, and once again playing Roaches. Okay, so Roach play out of SHIN, 2 games in a row. Ling speed is done. Hellions, he goes for the dive, and Ling's there ready. They're more than ready. He comes in for the surround, and it's worth it. It's so worth it here, catching out 2-3 Hellions. Ay, ay, ay. SHIN almost expecting a Ling, or expecting a dive there from ByuN. He had the links prepared. And now he can counterattack. But oh, there are more headlings back at home. Has to pull away. Does pull back. Again, getting into roaches. Again, investing into these lings, it was worth it. It's well worth it for SHIN. And with that, we're calming down. We have our 3-1-1 setup. ByuN taking his third base. Meanwhile, SHIN, we'll see how hard he commits into roaches. Last game, he did go into plus on range. You can see it again. So far, this does look like the same sort of setup here. Remember, last game, SHIN, he went into double Evo Chamber, into 1-1 upgrades, into Roach Ravager initially, and then that led into Infestation Mitt, into Fast Hive, into Fast Ultras. That is something that SHIN's very fond of. Like, we did call it earlier, we called Ultras last game, just because SHIN is very fond of that kind of style. And we're already expecting it here as well. Gases are being taken. Evo Chambers behind the main. Here come the upgrades. And SHIN is droning. Getting up to 71. And yep, already Infestation Mitt. You can see before even making a single roach, Infestation Mitt's on the way. This is actually quite greedy from SHIN. Last game, SHIN, he waited until he had a decent roach count first, and then he got an Infestation Mitt. But the reason why we're seeing this sooner is because of the map. If you recall, I did mention that this is a macro map. Again, it's larger, it's more defendable, so you can cut corners like this. So this is a really fast pit into a fast hive, into what should be faster ultras. Faster than last game. Ooh. Hellies get surrounded. ByuN is stuck at home. Again, SHIN, he has been cutting corners and just now making roaches. And it's going to be on SHIN to defend. To survive. Until his Hive. There we go. Hive is on the way. Bailey Nest as well. And again, this is to rush into those ultras as quickly as possible. And ByuN, he's getting a 4th CC. He's being more defensive. Yeah, ByuN is turtling up. ByuN, he's walling up with his tanks, so getting another expansion. Lings, they come in for the tank, but they will not get it. Ooh, not worth it for SHIN. Please add a lot of Lings. Well, Lings do go down. Oh. SHIN keeping up. So far as keeping up with ByuN, Hive is almost complete. We have one safety infestor on the way for the fungal. And again, ByuN, he isn't pushing. He's leaving his tanks at home. He's only being active with drop play. SHIN is more concerned with expanding and getting a 4th base. And there's that Ultra Cavern. Now, it's still going to be a little while until the Ultras come online because we do need the Ultra upgrades. Vipers are already in production. SHIN is looking for the drop. He does find it. Oh. Doesn't get the fungal. It's only one Viper for SHIN, which is a little bit concerning. He's just being a little bit more reserved. Doesn't want to make too many spellcasters too early. And just die to a random push. It's Bailey Speed. Fun fact, Bailey Speed finishes as the Ultra Cavern finishes. That's how fast the Ultra Cavern is. It's crazy. Meanwhile, ByuN, he doesn't know. Everything that we've been discussing, ByuN, he can only assume, but he has yet to really confirm. We did mention that, hey, if we know that SHIN likes going into Roach Ravager into Ultra Tech, then ByuN knows that as well, 100%. He's played against this plenty of times, but he doesn't know how greedy SHIN has been. That's the difference. Like, he knows what's coming his way. He knows that he's going to have to deal with Ultras eventually. But the Viper has revealed itself, doesn't quite get the... Oh, God! That's 2 yoinks and does not get the medevac. Oh, no, it does get it. Medevac goes down. Medevac does fall. Kindness waiting on the way. Plus on melee, we are still missing Adrenal though. Adrenal has not been researched yet. Shin missing an upgrade. Ooh, brutal mine shot. Mine shot does go up. See, medevac does finally go down. Medevac goes down, and ByuN, he's now being active, moving out with his army. We have the double drop towards the left, and the main army on the right. Still no Adrenal. Some mine shots. Once again, a brutal. Ultra's collapsing in. The tanks are not quite in position. And SHIN, he's going for the kill. He's going for the planetary. Going for the tanks even. Tank is wild. Very nice fungal. And the Ultras, they bust on through. They break through the main army. Planetary is also under fire. It barely goes down as well. And ByuN is being broken. ByuN, he's being broken. He does save the mineral line, but he will lose the base. He will lose most of his army. He has to float back over, and SHIN is remaxing. He's remaxing, rebuilding. As SHIN, he knows how close he is to breaking ByuN. ByuN is down to 2 tanks. Liberators are on the way. ByuN, he has no ghosts, so there's no easy way to deal with these ultras. Liberators are going to be the best chance. The best option for now. SHIN, he's rebuilt. Has rebuilt, he has remaxed. Gets eyes on the base, and he wants it. He wants the expansion. And remember, only one Viper. Only one Viper here. Does move forward. Does go for the Blinding Cloud. Does get one of the tanks. Mine shots are going off. Files, they will connect. Tank goes down. Liberator as well. Yeah, nice. Miles. And the Ultras, they break through. They break through once again. The final Liberator does go down. The boss have been on point. Ooh, but the Roach Ravage a little bit too far behind. Okay. ByuN holds. ByuN, he does hold once again. At a cost of 20 SCVs. Ghost Academy's done. And SHIN, he's barely not breaking ByuN. Barely not. ByuN now getting to 3-3 upgrades. Likewise, Ghost of Production should begin soon. Or should begin soon. He needs those ghosts. SHIN is already remaxed. Uh-oh. It's already remaxed. Already rebuilt. The Ultras are lagging behind. As we have a field of mines this time, not Liberator. Yeah, the minefield is set. Is going to be ideal against the Ling Bane. Just going off. Big connections. Connections are good, but the Ultras, they still push through. And once again, he gets a mineral line. Once again, the mineral line is going to go down. Nice fungal. Fungals connect. And SHIN, I think he's finally done that. I think he has done it at this point. He does break through most of the main army. Takes down the mineral line for a 3rd time. Ultras, they move in to reinforce. Roxy got taken down. Infestor does fall. But who needs it? Who needs Adrenal? I mean, it would have made things a little bit easier here because of how Ling heavy we are, but it's fine. It's fine. Oh, a bit of friendly fire. But again, we're just rallying in and now getting to the 3rd base. GG gets called. ByuN is overrun, and SHIN, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to GSL. It's qualifying for this season. GG. GG, well played, SHIN. For those who don't remember, for those who weren't watching last season, SHIN did not qualify for Season 1. SHIN, he was not in Season 1. He got knocked out in the qualifiers, but now he is here for Season 2. This time, he does make it into the main event, and GG, congratulations. SHIN, he will now have a chance to actually show off in GSL. GG, well played. Does make it through. No trigger this time. True. There is no trigger this time. As was mentioned earlier, the foreigners did not show up for these qualifiers instead. But SHIN does qualify over ByuN. A big win here for SHIN. In regards to that game, we did briefly mention it, but to emphasize it once more, SHIN was being very greedy. He was being very greedy last game. If you recall, he was going for an earlier infestation than normal, into an earlier hive than normal, earlier spell caches than normal, even compared to game 2, where he would usually make roaches first and delay his hive and delay his ultra. So he was cutting a lot of corners this game. And remember, ByuN was being pretty passive. He was being active with some drops, that is true. He had like 2 drops on the left and 2 drops on the right eventually, but for the most part he was keeping his army at home. He didn't know how greedy his opponent was being, so he didn't know he could have punished, and he didn't, right? He didn't scout. He didn't know how greedy SHIN was. SHIN got away with that greed. He gained map control, and with that he was able to overrun and overwhelm ByuN. GG well played with that. SHIN gets away with that greed, and that leads us into our next set of qualifying matches. That leads us into our next best of 3.